Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to Talladega Superspeedway for race number 13 of the second season of the NASCAR Busch Series powered by the WRA. Getting ready for the Aaron's 312 as Bora Park qualified on the pole in yesterday's pole day qualifying. She will start on the pole in the number 28 machine. Bora comes into this race flirting with that 30th in the standings cut line, 4 points to be exact, 29th in the points. So she needs a good result to get away from 30th in the standings. Quentin Moore is alongside of her. Q-Man comes into this race 10th in points, so he's having a good season over there. Tyler Ware in row number 2, 23rd in the points, and alongside of him is Daniel Gitiroyk. He drops 2 spots down to 6th in the points table. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, which is somewhat familiar for all of you guys. The field was on the back straightaway. Makes it a little easier with a half pace lap. As we're now entering turn number 3. S Ozkan is the points leader by 13 points over K Amirmoez, 16 over London Jackson, 30 over J.J. Palmer, 40 over T Tupola, Daniel Gitiroyk, 44 back in 6th, Ashlyn Wright, 53 back in 7th, Emily Green, 55 back in 8th, Abigail Stone, 63 back in 9th, and 71 back is Quentin Moore. Of course, the start-finish line is not in the center of the tribal like what we had at Daytona for the All-Star race a couple of weeks ago for the Cup drivers. As we're getting set for 47 laps of racing. These drivers cannot make it 47, or actually, they can make it 47 laps. Are they going to make it on tires? We're going to find that out here shortly. And the Aaron's 312 for race number 13 is underway. Let's go racing, drivers. And problems for the 7 of S Ozkan, as looks like he's got a problem. It's a fuel issue as he's holding up a number of drivers in the process. That's going to hurt a couple of drivers as they're trying to play catch up. And Ozkan looks like he's going to come to pit road. That's not good for the points leader. It just looks like he basically did not get going on the start, and as a result, held up a number of drivers in the process. Tyler Ware will lead the first lap here at Talladega. Up 90. Someone's blown up. Ah, no, it's one of the Brazilian girls. As I'm trying to get to her, that's Beatriz Campos. Ah, no. The engine has let go on the 72, and that's allowed these stragglers to catch right back up. And Beatriz Campos, unfortunately, going to be the first driver out of this race. As S Ozkan got his problem fixed, but he's off the lead lap. But what a shame for Beatriz Campos. Got to race her way into this race from the qualifying races on Thursday. Made it into the show. Had a good qualifying yesterday, and unfortunately, it's going to be game over for the driver out of Rio de Janeiro. What a tough break for that 72 bunch. And of course, Beatrice and um, Claire Oliveira's, the other Brazilian drivers, of course, they did not qualify for the Cup race. Of course, Samad Ozkan, the points leader, unless he gets some attrition as Marcus Sellers is going to take the lead, I think Ozkan's going to lose the points lead after tonight, after this race here today. As my charger wants to not work. Marcus Sellers now leads this race. Quentin Moore, Ricky Cervantes in second and third. That's Abigail Stone in the 60. By the way, Samad Ozkan, remember, he will be racing in tomorrow's Winston Cup race as he qualified his way into the show. Top 7 are single filed. This big pack led by Xavier Allsopp, Caleb Hobbs, and that's Callie Springer, all trying to reel in those top 7. It was a piston that let go on on Beatrice Campos's car. Samad Ozkan is one lap down. I don't know if he is up to speed or not, or if he's with anybody. Let's double check on the points leader. He's all by his lonesome. So he's probably gonna go another lap down as a result. He's on the backstretch. Everybody else is entering turn 1. And of course, he's probably 2 seconds slower than the leaders. Quentin Moore led a lap as this second pack is now 4 seconds back. As we have 41 drivers on track, 40 of them on the lead lap. As we mentioned about Samad Ozkan, he was your points leader coming into this race. And right behind Caleb Hobbs, that's JJ Palmer. Where is second in points? Right there in 26th. That's K Amirmoez. He has second in points coming into this race. These drivers can make it 47 laps. The Cup drivers tomorrow cannot make it the entire distance on fuel because they have the 13-gallon fuel cell package we have here this weekend. So they're going to have to pit a lot earlier. So pit strategy would play a factor in that. Meanwhile, at the business end of the field, as these drivers are starting to get a little bit racy up here, Quentin Moore comes in this race 10th in points. Of course, Bora Park did not qualify for the Cup race. Bora Park was the only driver in this group other than Quentin Moore that were trying to make the Cup race, tried to pull the double this weekend. Neither Quentin Moore nor Bora Park made the show for the Cup race, so this is their only race of the weekend. But that extra track time was significant for the both of them. There's Abigail Stone, Tyler Ware. Yeah, Bora Park. That is 7 drivers in that lead group. And this second pack, led by Caleb Hobbs, who's running in 8th, they're trying to catch up. Let's take an onboard with Caleb Hobbs, see what is it like to be, or actually, no, let's go on board Brad Blackman. See what it's like to be in a pack here at Talladega. That is definitely what it's like to be in a pack. Of course, he's going backwards because the inside line is the place you want to be. Luna Farmer, she'll be in tomorrow's Cup Series race. In her second start with Hendrick Motorsports, she has been announced that she's been signed to a full-time deal and a multi-year contract with Hendrick Motorsports to drive the number 5 in the Winston Cup Series in Season 3. Should also note for Luna Farmer, because of the fact she's going to complete more than 7 Winston Cup Series races this season, no longer will qualify her next season for Rookie of the Year honors. But good to get that extra track time. And what will she learn today? That will help her for tomorrow's Cup race. The Cup race is going to be 57 laps. This race is 47, so an extra 10 laps on the Cup field tomorrow afternoon. And unlike the Busch cars that can go 47 laps on a tank of fuel, the Cup cars, they cannot go 57 laps on a tank of fuel. So they will have to make at least a pit stop. The question is for these Busch cars, can they make it 47 laps on a set of tires, or do they think they cannot make it on tires? They can make it on fuel, but I don't know if they can make it on tires. We'll have to see about that. And remember, this is the first race of the weekend. So the Cup drivers will probably ask the Busch compadres if they've learned something about tire wear. Of course, it is sunny, it is hot and slick. These cars are going to slip slide around. As Marcus Sellers is going to take the race lead. Should also mention we found out that Claire Oliveras and Beatriz Campos, they have been confirmed as the replacement drivers for the 33 and the 46 over in the Craftsman Truck Series, which you'll see those drivers back next week at the Kentucky Speedway, as we're going to go under the lights once again. Pole day qualifying on Wednesday night. Yes, Wednesday night. Note the calendar change. That will be for the Craftsman Truck Series drivers. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pole day qualifying for the Busch cars Thursday night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Craftsman Truck Series race at 7. Winston Cup qualifying Friday night at 5 p.m. Eastern. Busch race next Friday night at 5. And the next Saturday night, it will be the Cup cars at Kentucky at 7 p.m. Eastern. In fact, the next 2 weeks will be night races. And then the following week, Armory Digital. The only race out on the West Coast for trucks and Busch. It will be a 4-race stretch on the West Coast for the Cup drivers, because they will get ready to tour the Pacific Northwest and the Rocky Mountains. Hope you'll join us for that. Of course, the Cup drivers will finally go racing on a dirt track. Buffalo Downs, Wyoming. That could play a factor in who's gonna have a good edge in this championship fight. Because after Armory Digital, we will not see the trucks or the Busch drivers until Watkins Glen. So hope everybody is looking forward to those races coming up. I think the races that I'm really intrigued about coming up this weekend will be as they're going to get ready to catch Summit Ozkan. I think the races I'm most intrigued is going to be Armory Digital because, Armory Digital tires, and I did a test race there. Tires were a lot quicker at Armory Digital, and we're told there's going to be the 13-gallon fuel cells for the Cup drivers for that race weekend, as somebody's having an issue. Zach Foster's got a tire going down. Yep, tire going down on Zach Foster, and I don't know if he's going to make it to pit road or not, as Summit Ozkan has been caught by the leaders. He will now go 2 laps down as a result, so it looks like Summit Ozkan's going to lose the points lead after today. But he is up to speed because he doesn't have any damage. That pack, by the way, is starting to reel in the leaders right now, because it's down to a second. I think Zach Foster has teleported to pit road. Let's double check on that to be sure. Yes is the answer. Not a good day for Zach Foster. Of course, he raced his way in via the go or go home session. This is his 4th Busch start of his career and of the season. But to go back to my point, as the pack has caught up with the leaders, Armory Digital, the tires are going to wear a lot quicker over at that track when we get there. And I was doing some testing with the go or go home drivers on the Cup side. They said tire wear was a major factor, and we could see a lot of cautions in that Armory Digital weekend. The pavement is aged a lot, as it looks like we got an engine problem for Brady Columbus. As she has gone up in smoke, was running 27, so looks like her day is unfortunately going to be done. That means Emily Green and Violet Jackson have lost the draft because of the 83. But as I was saying, Armory Digital, it's going to be a fun race knowing that we're going to see these drivers play a factor in, not just tire wear, pit strategy. Plus, remember, Armory Digital is completely different than any other super speedway that I do on this channel. Like April and all that. Zach Foster has returned to the race, although he'll be a few laps down, getting that tire change and also stopping on track and having to get his car teleported to pit road. But I think, Armory Digital is going to be something I think we're going to be very intrigued. The new one. We're using the 2023 Armory Digital one. And of course, remember, the track got repaved in, I think it was 2014, 2015. It is aged. The pavement has aged a lot. And my chat keeps flashing. Oh, it's Brady Columbus. Zach Foster is now 2 laps down. Camshaft is the issue on the 16 of Brady Columbus. So it's going to be, and right on cue, there's Zach Foster. He's now going to be 3 laps down. Okay, he's doing the right thing. Just stay below the yellow line. As Zach Foster now, don't know if he's going to be up to speed or not. No, I think he's going to lose the draft again. And that was an unscheduled pit stop. for the Mr. Clean Auto Wash Chevrolet. Or the Mr. Clean Chevrolet, I should just say. Morgan Le Fay is about to lose the draft as well. Same with Alex Winters and Luna Farmer. And of course, remember, Luna Farmer pulling the double this weekend because she's in tomorrow's Winston Cup field because she just got herself into the top 35 over in the Cup field. So she is locked into the show. Even though the driver she's replacing, Nathan Norman, is in the top 35, but she has put herself into that excuse me, into that 35th in the standings. And where is Luna Farmer going to start in tomorrow's Cup race, you ask? On the front row with her teammate Hannah Blue Jay over in that series. I don't know why we're having tire issues, because remember, the only on-track activity we've had here today is Cup qualifying. So I wonder if these drivers might have tire problems, because remember, we've had a lot more rubber on track. We just got done with Cup qualifying. I also should mention the drivers' meeting for the Busch drivers was yesterday before pole day qualifying. And the reason it was this morning at like 9 a.m. Excuse me there. As I'm recording this, I am fully recovered, but I'm still coughing here and there, so just forgive me. Of course, qualifying driver's meeting was this morning at 9. And then we had Cup qualifying just before this race. So all of the Busch drivers who are already suited up, ready to go, they actually got to watch qualifying in the pits. Those that were not in the Cup field, they got to watch pole day qualifying in the pits with the Cup teams. And they were asking a lot of questions, and of course Luna Farmer was on track with a number of other drivers in the field. How are tires? How are the track conditions and all that? As we're past the halfway point of this race, by the way. Of course, Daniel Gitiroyk was another driver that was on track for pole day qualifying. Of course, all of them were wearing their Busch Series fire suits and not their Cup fire suits. And of course, Luna Farmer, and of course, this is before driver intros had to be taken care of. And of course, the officials made sure the drivers got a restroom break, got that out of the way, and also made sure that they got something to eat in their bodies. Got food, as I like to call it, before they got into their cars for this Busch race, which so far so good. So it's already been a busy day for a couple of our drivers who are pulling the double this weekend. Looks like the 32 has lost the draft. That's not good for one of our drivers running well in points. There's Brad Blackman. He's running a part-time Busch schedule because, remember, he still has one of the spots in the Cup Series. Although he doesn't have a ride anywhere, he's only running a part-time Busch schedule. There's a lot of drivers that, as we're down to 20 to go, there's a lot of drivers who I think are definitely going to be a future. As you look at Ashlyn Wright, there's been rumors for Ashlyn Wright that she's going to be remaining up into the Cup Series next season. And of course, remember, she took over the rookie points lead after Nathan Orman was ejected back at Charlotte last week. So Ashlyn Wright, despite missing 2 races in DNQ because of the fact she was not locked in the show, even though she was in the top 35, she's done a fantastic job over on the Cup side. And she's like almost into the top 10 in the points, believe it or not. What a rookie year she's having over there. And there's been rumors, as I said, she could stay up into the Cup Series with her sister, Tatum Wright, which I would not be surprised if that is indeed the case. I think there's going to be an announcement coming up in a couple of weeks when we go to the HLR circuit. As problems for Luna Farmer, I think a tire, nope, brakes. Brake problem for Luna Farmer. That's going to hold up a number of these drivers trying to catch back up. Excuse me. I don't know what I have in my little deal, but whatever it is, it's really clogging me up. How about the rookie Claire Oliveras? This gal raced her way in, just like Beatrice Campos. Of course, Campos out of the race. Of course, she's watching from the 0-1 pit area, having a fantastic job. Great job for this Brazilian driver, and no wonder why she's going to be in the 33 and the 40. She's going to run the 33 because remember, Jacob Foster filled in the 33 at Charlotte last week until he had an engine failure. So, of course, Jacob Foster didn't qualify for either this race or the Cup race. And Beatrix Campos will also be the other replacement driver. Oliveras will be in the 33, the 33 truck. That truck will be locked in the show on owner points. Because remember, Jacob Foster's points will go to the 28 and not to the 33. Actually, the 33 fell out of the top 30, so that means the 33 truck will have to attempt to qualify into the show. And I believe the same can be said for the 46. So Oliveras will be in the 33, and Campos will be in the 46. Both of those drivers will have to attempt to qualify into the show at Kentucky. Right now, they're currently working on Luna Farmer's car on pit road. Brady Columbus has climbed out of the 16 car. Unfortunately, she's done for the day. And she'll probably head off to the shower area. Very disappointed. I mean, Brady's really matured a lot better. Yes, she still has her run-ins with Leo Einstein as Luna Farmer is returning the race. So it looks like Luna's problem is not terminal. It is going to, however, affect her in the points. We mentioned Samit Ozkan was the points leader coming in this race. Luna, excuse me. God damn, I can't. As I was saying, Luna Farmer came in this race 13th in the points. This is going to be a big blow for her. Morgan Le Fay has lost the draft, 11th in points. Katsura running in 14th. He is second in points coming into this race. Right now, London Jackson, as Madison Toll, is about to take the lead. London Jackson, right there, who's in this lead pack, she would more than likely take the points lead heading into next week at Kentucky, because she is ahead of the guy that's also trying to run down Summit Ozkan for the points lead. Also, London Jackson would also take the rookie points lead away from Summit Ozkan heading into next week at Kentucky. JJ Palmer is also going to gain some points on Summit Ozkan today because he's only 2 laps down. Luna Farmer, Zach Foster, they're both 3 laps down. So, not been a good day. And hopefully, Luna will definitely bounce back tomorrow afternoon on the Cup side. And of course, with Luna Farmer confirmed she will be driving full time with Hendrick Motorsports in the Winston Cup Series next season. Who would replace her here in the Busch Series? That's something, World NOS Racing, Luke Knight is going to have to think about. Of course, we will see Luke Knight and the other 40 drivers that we don't see here because, of course, well, other than Ashlyn Wright, we'll see her tomorrow on the Cup side. Been rumors that it might be Addison Peterson who could replace Luna Farmer in that 57 next season. We'll have to wait and see, but that's going to depend on what car set we're going to use for season 3 for Busch. And there's been rumors for the Craftsman Truck Series drivers that we might be using the 2006 Truck Series set for next season. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So again, those are like the rumors and all that. As we're coming up, and of course, London Jackson's about to get ready to take the lead here. So no doubt, I think it's going to be either London Jackson or K Amirmoez who will take the points lead. I know London Jackson will take the rookie points lead from Summit Ozkan heading into next week. Of course, Summit Ozkan has to qualify his way into the show, and also with Michael Brown, Carlos Rodriguez now out of the series, that throws a monkey wrench on who is locked into the show in the top 30 over in the Craftsman Truck Series. Because Sasha Bright entered Charlotte tied for that 30th in the standings cut line. And I'm going to have to see where this is going to situate who would be that driver, the 2 drivers that would be locked into the Craftsman Truck Series race at Kentucky. It would be Sasha Bright and Scarlett Wallace. Want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Of course, we're going to be excited to see the Craftsman Truck Series drivers back with the Busch drivers. Of course, we get a little 3-week fun, which will comprise of next week at Kentucky, Homestead and Armory Digital. And then it will be the Cup drivers that will be all by their lonesome for the next 3 weeks. They'll comprise of the HLR circuit in Vancouver. That's one of the most specialty road courses, and Abigail Furling is going to be attempting to qualify in the 97 for that race weekend because she is a former winner at the HLR circuit the last time we raced there. Speaking of former winners, now that I almost forgot, who is our defending winner of this race? We ran here in season 1. Now that we are discussing about former winners, of course, this race was the middle race of the round of 8. So I'm going to put it on. And the defending winner of this race is not in this field. The car that Futaba Soccer was driving that failed to qualify, the 18. Defending winner, Kevin Lambert, who drove for Joe Gibbs Racing in season 1. He was the defending winner of the race, so we're guaranteed a new winner. Over as got something going on in the chat here. Oh, Zach Foster just lost an engine. Well, his day just went from bad to worse, and that's a shame. And now his day is finally going to come to a disappointing end. That is a tough break for Zach. Had a flat tire, fell 3 laps down, never was able to recover. The defending winner on the Cup side, the 42, failed to qualify for tomorrow's race. Mia Watts is the defending winner in the Cup Series. So we're guaranteed 2 new winners here this weekend. It's a gearbox issue for Zach Foster, so a bad day gone worse for the 83 bunch. So they're definitely disappointed with that, as London Jackson looking to take the race lead. As we're going to go back to the Busch Series points. This is going to help London Jackson a lot. Trying to not only get a win, which would be big for her, but also she's only had 4 top 5, 7 top 10s, and her sister could play a factor in this. Oh boy, we had a DVR controversy incident at Charlotte in the Truck Series last week. What the hell are we in store for this week at Talladega on the Busch side? Oh, that's not good. May I remind you, none of those cars have damage, believe it or not. Oh, this could play a factor in who's going to win this race. Emily Green's up here, going to go a lap down. They lost the draft after Zach Foster had a tire going down, and they've never recovered. And as of now, 3 of the 42 starters have failed to finish. All of them due to mechanical problems, as now the leaders have been boxed. As we're down to 4 laps of racing to go here at Talladega. Violet's going to let her sister go. That's William Brock in the 92, who is on the lead lap, having a very good run. Been impressed with Claire Oliveras in that 0-1 machine. The only Brazilian driver left in this race after Beatriz Campos lost the engine after the first lap of the race. What a career day for the 0-1 team, as we're down to 3 to go. William Brock in the lead. But I wouldn't rule out these lap cars that could also play a factor. Anybody else coming up? Well, Morgan Le Fay is all by her lonesome, so she's not going to play a factor in who's going to win this race. Brock moved up the track. That was a bad decision because here comes Claire Oliveras, but here comes Abigail Stone in the 60. Don't count out Kyle Langland in that 26 Dr. Pepper machine. Langland's had a rough couple of weeks. But last week got 2 spots up to 26 in points, ironically, in the 26. Abigail comes to this race 9th in points as we're down to 2 to go here at Talladega. We're shaping ourselves up to what has been a calm Talladega weekend here for the Busch Series. Which says to me we may have a wreck in the Mars Winston Cup Series, the Aaron's 499. As here comes Caleb Hobbs. Alexandria Van Dam, where did that 02 machine come from? Here we come to the white flag. One more time around Talladega, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Here comes Caleb Hobbs, gonna abandon his teammate and take the lead as we're on the last lap of the race. Van Dam has got to figure out how to get around Caleb Hobbs. Remember, the 37 and the 21 could also play a factor in this race. Van Dam's got to look to the inside. Oh, the 37 just ruined that plan. That might have just sealed it right there, folks. That just ruined Van Dam's chance to win this race. And here they come off of turn 4 for the final time into the tri-oval. Caleb Hobbs has done the impossible. He's going to play spoiler and win the Aaron's 312 at Talladega. And that will give Roush their first win of the season here in the Busch Series. Because second win of the year for Roush here in the Busch Series. Because Jamie Bonine went to victory lane earlier on in the first half. How about the rookie Claire Oliveras? Had a quiet run in second. Well done to her. Having a respectable run. William Brock will get third. Madison Tall will get fourth. Alexandria Van Dam got screwed over by Emily Green. We'll have to settle for fifth, but that's still a good points day for her. Kyle Langland will get sixth. Kyle's been struggling in the points, so Talladega, who caters to the underdog, struggling in points, good result for him in sixth. Abigail Stone, ninth in points. This will keep her in the top 10 of the points in seventh. London Jackson will take the points lead. She finished in eighth. She also finished ahead of the guy she was also trying to run down for the points lead as well in that 10. That's K Amirmoez. And I don't know where the 10 went. I think the 10 had an issue towards the end of that race, but good result for London Jackson. She'll be your rookie and overall points leader. T Tupola will get ninth. Tula came into this race looking for the 19, fifth in points, so he may be second in points leaving today. We'll have to see about that. And Rosalinda Masterson having a quiet season, finishing in the 10th position. Gained 5 spots up to 15th in the points. This could put her in the top 10 in the points leaving today. Courtney Lynn had a quiet run in 13th. Lucky Prescott, quiet run in 11th. Dylan Ebrahimian, Xavier Allsopp, and Ellie Rose, also a quiet run for her in the 15th position. This is the part I get a little nervous about as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. Look at some of these big names that were running well in points. Quentin Moore, 29th, was running well in points. K Amirmoez was not entirely sure what happened to him. He dropped all the way to 34th. He came in his race second in points. Morgan Le Fay, last car to finish on the lead lap in 35th. Emily Green, Violet Jackson fell a lap down after they got held up, never recovered. Samad Ozkan had a fuel issue. He came his race as the points leader. He will not be the points leader leaving today. And tough break for Luna Farmer, who had problems with her brakes, even though you're flat out through the entire racetrack, but not the momentum she wanted to carry going into the Cup race tomorrow. She was the last car to finish the entire race. 35. We had 35 finish the race on the lead lap, 39 finished the race in total, and 3 drivers did not reach the conclusion, all due to mechanical failure. Zach Foster had a tire go down, had to teleport back to pit road. Then the gearbox let go on his car in 40th. Brady Columbus lost to camshaft, and poor Beatrice Campos. She was absolutely devastated as the engine let go, only completing 1 lap. What a shame for the Brazilian driver who made the race. Unfortunately, going to finish in 42nd. She's got to be very sad, and I bet you some tears coming down her eyes after that result. So she'll look to do better in her next race. Hopefully, it'll be a much better result. But congratulations to Caleb Hobbs on his first career Busch Series win and his first career top 5 of his career. So congratulations on that, as we want to congratulate him on the victory and the second win of the season for Roush Racing. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We've shown your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description as a result of what was a wacky Talladega race. Be sure to join us tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have the Cup drivers ready for their race, the Aaron's 499, here at Talladega Super Speedway. And now for our studio engineer, Carmen Alejandro. I'm D Tupola. Thank you for joining me and saying good night from Talladega Super Speedway as we congratulate Caleb Hobbs on his first career Busch Series win. Coming up next, we'll rejoin the Infinity Network Sports Studios programming already in progress. We will talk to you again tomorrow. You've been watching the World Racing Association's Multimedia Network.